Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. And yes, I did put the letters INFJ into the YouTube search, and I had to scroll past the INFJ stare and all the other stuff that they use to grab you, to make you look, to hopefully figure yourself out. And I had to keep going a while today before I caught one that caught my eye. I guess it came out a couple weeks ago. I don't know the name of the channel because I ain't looking at it. But how INFJs win. And then it said in the thumbnail, by losing. Ooh. Pardon me. Oh, yeah, it's a bit thick in here today. So, yeah, what do you mean? How do we win by losing? I know what they mean. And let's talk about how we win. First of all, to win, you have to have something you want. You have to have either a goal or something concrete in the world that you'd like to own, or any of those things. So that's job one. But after that, now, as we were talking about, and I think it was our last broadcast, if you put that on too great of a pedestal, you essentially just kind of push it away. So, in a sense, you would accomplish a good way to accomplish the things that you want is by believing that you can have them. And the contradiction there for this channel is that we know it's not a good idea to believe anything, so maybe we should modify that. And we can say, instead of believing that we will have the things we want, we know that we will. We don't know when, and we don't know how. If you can free yourself of those two entanglements, and that's tough, because our brain's gonna start angling, we're gonna start trying to figure out ways, and it's okay to have a certain amount of that. I would say probably the best way for an INFJ is to let ideas and solutions burble up from the introverted intuition matrix, from the abyss. That would be the best plan. And once you know that you're going to accomplish a certain goal or possess something in this world, then you can just relax and know that it will transpire. And in that confidence, you have your heart and your mind in alignment. And I think that's really the engine that's going to generate success for you. That's how you're going to win. Now, as far as how do you win by losing, I didn't watch their video. It's not very... So, and that's another reason for not calling out the channel. Maybe it's good, maybe not. I mean, they've got lots and lots of people clicking on it and viewing it. So, there's that. But I know I won't like it because there's very few INFJ channels I do like. Which is why I created one that I thought should exist, and hopefully you're enjoying it. I hope you do. I hope you're getting some insights, and all we need is one good insight here or there. Anyway, what do I think they mean by INFJs win by losing? Well, fortress of indifference, my friends, right? We just won't care. We'll just say, well, I don't care about that. I can decide what I care about and what I don't care about, and I don't care about that, so I win. That's one idea that pops into mind. Actually, I can't really think of any other way that you could win by losing. In the sense you're losing because the thing you did kind of want, you're saying, no, I don't want. Yeah, everyone else can have that. And where's that going to get you? Where's that going to get you? Nowhere, my friends. So, all of this kind of leads deeper into the whole idea of desire. And one day, not that long ago, or one evening, I should say, I was in a bit of a meditative state, and the phrase popped into my mind, and I believe this burbled up from the abyss, and that was that desire is a gift. And I think that's a valid idea. It's actually a bit of a reframe because if you're coming at it from the Buddhist angle, a few months back we were looking into some of that sort of ideas, and honestly, I don't have a lot of use for a lot of that. I do think the best thing you can get from the whole Buddhist tip is to just not grasp, to wear things lightly and let existence sort of be what it is. That's what I think they've got to offer. But achieving some sort of, I'm not even saying they're promulgating the idea that we should achieve a state of non-desire, but clearly a lot of adepts seem to have that attribute. So I'm imagining that would be desirable if you were into that kind of religious modality. But for the rest of us, we have desires. Now, the problem, of course, with desire is that it can take on real pressure. It can actually it can really stress you out, especially, let's say, you're pursuing desires that aren't really in accordance with your, let's just say, karma, or we could just say being a good person, or that kind of thing. I'm not saying necessarily that having certain desires would make you a bad person, but oftentimes we have to watch out for that sort of thing too, because we all live in a society, and the society has morals, and it's good to cleave to those if you want to get on with everyone and be a contributing member. Yeah. So, but let's just say you've got desires, and they're within those thresholds. You want them. That's a gift. What a blessing. You've got something to think about. You got something to move towards. You have, I don't want to say a complete reason for being, but let's face it, desire gives our lives meaning, and we are meaning-seeking machines. And INFJs, I think that's especially true of us. I believe all of the types are seeking meaning in whatever way, shape, or form is going to be most significant to them. But for us, we really have to have that as a cornerstone of our lives. We need to have more of it's the North Star. It's the thing that we can align ourselves to and make a direction we can move towards, is meaning. And desires and meaning are always tied together, aren't they? And, you could have all sorts of desires, some of which are carnal and some of which are divine. Sorry for the sniffle. And let's just say I was in this meditative state, and this idea popped into my mind, and a lot of other ideas were floating around. And in a meditative state, your mind tends to think, well, I should definitely be moving towards some kind of noble thoughts, but every now and again, an earthly thought will interrupt, won't it? And then we go, no, 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 shoo, shoo, go away. And you know what? That's fine, because you don't want to necessarily indulge in any of these kind of strong physical desire type thinkings when you are striving for some sort of spiritual illumination. That tends not to go hand in hand, unless, of course, you're into, what do they call it? Kama Sutra. And I can't say anything more about that because I've heard that's not what it is. But we saw the book when we were kids, okay, that's interesting. Anyway, desire is a gift. It is something that will bring your life meaning. And you can cultivate or abandon desires all day long, can't you? The best desires, I think, are the ones that ennoble your existence, like a desire to be a great artist or a great writer, or somebody who's a great communicator. That those sorts of desires are going, and working towards them is going to bring a lot of meaning to your life and to the lives of others. So what a gift that is. But even the other desires, the so-called bad ones, they bring a lot of flavor to existence. And if you keep them in their place, don't let them take over, which can happen for us INFJs, because when we click into that sensory mode, there we go, we can get a little carried away. But don't do that. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you got an insight or two, and I'll be back in a couple more. Meanwhile, keep on keeping on.